Well, good day, good night, I guess it is. Sometimes, it takes me all day to get this video put together, but I am committed to do these every day, so here's another. Today was really a great day. I got to sleep in. My wife got up early this morning and went off to exercise and left me at home, and I fell right back asleep and slept in and felt really good. But waking up later, I was like, oh, I got to get my run done. And after a few hours of getting a couple other things done and accomplished and working with the kids and cleaning the house and things like that, you don't have as much time in the day. So I didn't get out on my run till late in the day. But as I was out doing my run, I was running trails again, and I was wanting to do a little bit longer of a run, get around 6 miles or maybe a little bit longer. So I was running some new trails, and it felt so good. I mean, I just felt on. And as I was going, I had this just extra energy, it seemed like. And I just continued on down the path, and when I was running up the hills, and there were some steep hills along the way, but even as I was running the hills, it just felt really good. And then I got a text message. And the text message was one that simply stated was, "Where are you?" And when I got that message, there was all this stuff from the past that came up inside of me, inside of past experiences that I've had with that question. In a lot of what came up in me was past regrets for not accomplishing things that I wanted to get done on Saturdays. And here I was out running, and maybe I was starting to feel guilty about doing that. And my run, and I was running at the time, and I answered back the text, and then I kept running, but I just got slower and slower and slower until I was walking, and I felt like I couldn't run. And before this, I felt like amazing, like the best run I'd had. It was phenomenal. It was great. And here I was walking. And as I was walking along, just mulling over in my head the message that had come to me and what I was dealing with and all of this stuff, I come up over this hill walking along, and there's all this trash that's out there. And it just really struck me that I was carrying all this extra baggage and garbage from my past that was being brought up in this moment, in this particular moment. And so what I did in that moment when I saw that garbage is I was like, I'm not carrying this. And so I started pacing back and forth a little bit, and and I just started saying, one of the tools I know that I can use is I can speak this out, just get it out, all this negative, all this junk that I'm feeling that's weighing me down. I can get rid of it, just like this trash is laid out here, by the side of the trail, and so I started talking it out, and I started saying everything I wanted to say. And as I started saying these things, there was more and more that started coming up. And there's more emotion that was coming up in it. I started to tear up in that moment. And I started to get really angry. And there was things that I was getting out of me. And in this moment, I glanced over and I saw the sagebrush that was by me, and there's this, just grasslands and sagebrush and whatnot. And I had this epiphany moment as I was spewing out all this negative and getting rid of all this negative. In that moment, I realized that there is in place on this planet a means and a way for us to get rid of our negative, not put it on to someone else, because I could have. I could have sent back venomous text messages or made a phone call or whatever in that moment, and I could have sent those back. But instead, I was getting them out here in the wilderness, out on the trail. And as I was doing that with no one else around, all it was getting on was the sagebrush. And I thought for that moment that as I breathe out of my mouth, I breathe out my carbon dioxide. And those plants suck that in, trap it inside, and then by the power of the sun, there's no coincidence here either, the sun transforms that carbon dioxide into food and also into oxygen is the byproduct. And so in other plants, it creates potatoes and bananas and carrots and apples and oranges and lemons and you name it, asparagus. It creates that out of all of that negative, all of that byproduct. So as I'm spitting out this negative, all this junk, it's collecting that up and turning it into fuel and putting it out as oxygen. So what I realized as I was going through this process and getting all of this junk out of me and moving forward, I started feeling this drive and fire to begin running again. And as I was running and started going again, I felt that fire come back to me. But I couldn't get it back until I let go of the negative. So the thing I want you to learn from this, I want me to learn from this, is that when I feel weighed down, I need to find what it is I need to get out, and I need to go let it out in nature. Let it out in a place where it's safe, that negative won't get on somebody else, but let it out in a place where it can go and be used as fuel for something else, be transformed. But if I hold it, it's just going to slow me down. So what do you need to let go of? Comment if you want in the notes below, but what do you need to let go of? And go, let go. Go out to nature, let go of that. Go talk out in nature, let that out. So remember, if you don't like change, send it to me, I'll take it. It adds up over time.